This little boy just woke up. All right. Hello, y'all. Good evening. This is High Priestess Jamila. I've been sitting here just watching movies and stuff, chilling, relaxing. I wanted to come and ask a serious question because I do care about our community and our children. I do care about the future for children. Okay, all jokes aside, all Jerry Springer crap aside, I'm extremely concerned about what just happened to me for 5 years and making sure that it never happens to any woman ever again. You know, that whole debacle hurt my whole family. And in a lot of different ways, even though I'm a strong person and I'm always pull through for my family. And I have a great support system. I love my clients. Shout out to my clients. I have met some of the I am so grateful for Rochelle. I want to know, why is it that when men make a bad judgment call, instead of them admitting when they're wrong, and instead of them seeing their failure, and that their failure and their pettiness and their anger and their emotions and their need to, or either their need to have a story on their channel, you know for you to know a situation, for you to know people are lying to you, and for you to continue to repeat those lies, and then for you to try to paint the woman in a negative light, it just shows that you're a coward. So I'm really not trying to fight or argue with men right now. But, the word coward is so inflammatory. Let me take that back. How do I put this in a really, really nice way? Cuz I really, guys, I don't want to be involved in toxic stuff. And when I do talk about stuff, unless I'm talking about, actual real harm that was done to a child, I don't want to get all, cuz thank God all my children have been safe and protected. And, because there's some stories that women have told me that, if, like, I actually talked to a lady that whose child was murdered, drunk driving. Her baby daddy was driving drunk. And after that reading, I carried that with me for probably well over a week because it was just so sad what had happened. And I haven't heard from her. I hope that she contacts me because, that reading really touched me. A lot of my readings really touch me. Listen, you failed to protect your community. As a man, you failed to protect the community. You knew there was, wait a minute, either you weren't aware that there was danger, or you knew it was and you didn't care. You subjected a family with children to whatever was going on, and you didn't care about what you were doing. And, I think that it's important whenever you are having or bringing closure to a situation. I think it is important to tell the truth and to be very honest about the part that you played. I mean, I was just defending myself for the past 5 years, and I was able to take responsibility, because if I would have had it in me to just ignore that situation and sit here and watch movies with my children, I wish to God that I could have, if I could go back and do it over, I would have ignored all of that circus show, because I lost the last 5 years of my life, is what I feel. And so, first of all, if you're a man and you're doing that, the goddess is going to always expose you. Nobody's falling for it, first of all. Second of all, there's no judge and jury. Okay. That's not a real judge and jury. The truth of the matter is that the fact that you failed your own community, okay, the fact that you failed to even think about protecting an innocent woman that was in your city, lived 15 minutes from you, and you decided to not protect that person. In fact, you decided to join in to the attack on this person. And then, then at the end of the day, you're telling stories about the said victim. Now, nobody wants to be a victim, but the truth of the matter is that you're embarrassed because you thought that you knew more about the situation and you misjudged. You judged horribly. You could have cost people their lives. By the way, guys, I was in an extremely um sort of just bad mood because I just got tired of it. I'm one of them type of people to where when I ask for my space, I want it and you must give it to me. And if you just stay on me and stay on me and stay on me and stay on me and you don't give me a chance to breathe and think, then I may react crazy, especially if it's been 5 years and I've been telling you the same thing, asking you, why are you telling lies on me? I do want to kind of say to the public, uh, I don't want to ever, because I said something like kill yourself or something. I don't want to, guys. I want Yemi Yah to completely wash me of any of that evil because none of it was any good. And the truth of the matter is that all of these women that people want to stand in judgment of were used by this person who was an opportunist. So, if you really want credibility, then you'll admit to that. You'll admit to, and to be honest with you, you will never be in a position to judge anybody, especially not me. um what I will tell you is that I told y'all what the truth was. I don't lie about anything. Have no reason to. I'm grown. But when somebody tells you to stop and you do it every single day, you just continue to do the same thing over and over again, you're just misjudging. And I see men doing this all the time. And you know what they do? They scapegoat on the woman. Now, I think it's extremely vicious for you to tell lies on somebody. Now, to be honest with you, if you walk up to me and let's say mature and more responsible than this, because but you know what? At the same time, the woman held it down. Do you understand me? I held it down, going through all of that, going through, seeing people that I used to care about tell lies on me, for the sake of this guy getting attention on his show. Sitting there and watching people tell lies that they know is not the truth. Like literally it's just made up. Like all of it is either a totally fabricated story or either the story has been spinned. This is a classic narcissist, okay? I will say that, females can be narcs as well, but I honestly say that, when a man does things like that, this is a malignant narcissist. So as a woman, really what you got to do is you have to either get out there and start mingling with some men that are of some sort of substance. There's nothing wrong with that. We all came from wherever we came from. Now, I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, and I'm not ashamed of my hometown. I can imagine that everybody could have a reason to be ashamed of their hometown. Okay, look at it. Look at Atlanta. It's extremely dangerous and violent here. Lots of homeless people. Okay, a lot of stuff going on. A lot of drug dealing, killing, stealing. You know what I'm saying? So, like there's no one one town that's better, excuse me, than the other. But what I can tell you is that when people are young, they do things. Now, I think that robbing somebody would be very shameful. I think that I would be very, 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 very ashamed of myself if I actually robbed somebody. It's because I don't steal. I'm a very honest person. People that are usually very predatorial, they will steal. They'll steal somebody's energy. They'll steal somebody's purse. They'll steal somebody's life. They'll steal somebody's time. So, but I just wanted to say that, hey, if you're not going to be a man and and protect your community, then stand down. Step back. Because to be honest with you, women actually don't need men for protection. Not really. Not really. I've been single for years and ain't nothing ever happened to me. But that's because I mind my own business and I stay at home with my children. In fact, it's been this way since my firstborn came into this world in the year 2000. So, you know, um, I had my fun back in my days. I've actually been to strip clubs before too. Before I had children, I didn't have my firstborn till I was like 23. Yeah. So, I didn't have children young. I tried to, when you see sometimes when you see a young child that is trying to have a child, it's usually some sort of trauma um associated. Sometimes it just depends. Depends on who your father is, who your mother is. Your parents can't really protect you from everything in this world. The big bad stuff that's out there, though, they should die trying to protect you because there's some bad people out here in this world. People that'll, I think that back then I was probably still very weak when it came to, the spiritual warfare as well as the psychological attacks, but I've gotten stronger, you know what I'm saying? Because, going through that experience, it is like you're at war. In fact, a lot of us that are going through spiritual warfare, we are just like if you out there, well, I don't know if it's exactly the same thing but, a lot of us are just dodging bullets, to be honest with you. Air in your community. How many times a baby or a child or somebody innocent has to get shot? That is so ignorant, man. Stop shooting your guns up in the air. Our community, hell, look at the whole world. It's time to take responsibility for your actions as a man. Children can't sleep at night because y'all doing black magic on women's children and stuff, and you trying to attack them, and then you wonder, and then you come and thumbs down with some. If your heart has been weighed as light as a feather, you're fine. I've gotten to the point where I can listen to all of it and just not care because it's fake. It's made up. Why even get upset about something that's fake and made up? It's satire. You know what I'm saying? And so I've been feeling really, really at peace the past couple of days, and I did a cleanse. And I told this person, I said, hey, I'm moving on. I don't want to. And then, of course, narcissistic people like to try to drag you right back into some stuff. You know, I'm not going to waste. Why would somebody waste their time on that? You know what I'm saying? So, men, y'all got to do better. That's a total failure. Thumbs down. Thumbs down. Seriously. Come on now. Especially when the woman told you over and over again, hey, I'm just sitting here chilling with my family. And then after you help do a basically a false witch hunt on somebody, then you want to say, disgusting things about that person. Well, no, honey, you're just projecting. You're not talking about me, because the fact that you failed to protect your community, you was a failure as a man in the first place. The fact that you knew a woman in your community was being done like that and you did nothing. You, in fact, you helped. So, I mean, whenever you judge somebody else, there's about 100 people judging you back. And, then what you talk about, you're basically talking about yourself. When you ever hear somebody say some stuff out the blue that you ain't never thought about doing and never would do, well, guess what? Look at the person that's pointing the finger. The person that's pointing the finger always has 100 pointed back. And the 100 pointing back are usually right, because people pointing the finger are coming out the blue. It's like, dude, ain't nobody even thought about no stuff like that. Like, why is your mind in the gutter? And, literally. So, all I gotta say is that do better for your community. I mean, this is like a bad rap song right now. Many of us, black and white women, we feel like we just in a bad rap video right now. It just is not good. Sorry, y'all. Have to scratch my throat, clear my throat. These allergies and stuff. So, for me, I sat there and cracked up because, I feel like the truth is the truth, but that's not the whole truth. That ain't it. That wasn't it. Okay. The truth of the matter is that there are good people in this world, and I am one of them. And I have nothing to prove to anybody. So, hold on a second, guys. What the heck did I do with those? You know what? Anyway, y'all, I had such a good day, and it's people out there that love me so much, and I love y'all back. Y'all are my heart and my soul. My clients are my hearts and my souls. So, I've just been sitting here relaxing. I've been wanting to come back and do readings, but the internet connection has been so choppy that I haven't been able to do it. So, we'll have to do that tomorrow. Okay. Anyway, y'all, I have got to go. I wish that we had better men, and I think that we do. Please, uh-oh, did we leave it undone? Did we leave? Please, make me a liar. You know what I'm saying?
Ice cream milking.
Oh, no.
He said water ice cream.
Okay, baby. Well, put it back in there and let it get frozen again. Oh, goodness gracious. So,
ice cream milking.
I do have faith that there is a good man out there, and I want I'll necessarily have to be with somebody, because that's not necessarily what it is, but it's all about knowing the good that's in this world and focusing on that, focusing on the good things, focusing on the positive. If you're somebody that's like, how can you possibly think that you could ever be a leader of your community when all you do is negative things all day every day? When I'm not on here, doing readings or talking about this controversial stuff, I'm over here with my family being positive. what do you think that you're contributing to the community and the family when all you do every single day is tear people down? And if you're doing stuff like that and you think you're going to be the judge of somebody and somebody is going to respect what you say, I don't think so. Like my uncle used to say, come clean. You got to come clean. And what come clean mean is you better be right and know what you did wrong. My uncle was very militant. He was in the military. Okay? And he's my favorite uncle. He's one of my favorite uncles. He has never put his hands on me. He's one of, there's only one of my uncles who, how it is sometimes in the family. But so he was cool people, real cool people. So, when you step to me like this is the judge over here. I decide people's court cases. Like if you are about to go to jail for something, I can do that work for you and get you out of jail. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be somebody with power, but you also have to be somebody that is righteous. And I'm one of the most righteous people that I know. I make mistakes because I'm very empathic and nobody is perfect. Nobody. Nobody. But what I do know is how my own actions can affect my family, which is why I'm not going to be on here that long. I just wanted to come and say what I had to say. You know, in response, I'm not going to be, I really like whenever I hear myself cursing somebody out, it doesn't make me feel good, to talk that way. You know what I'm saying? Like I normally like guys when I was over in Kansas, we had a very quiet household. Do you understand me? Like I think that things began to get out of control sometime in 2015, but that was all spirit. You know what I'm saying? Everything happens for a reason. So, that's literally what I do is I follow my spirits and I follow my instincts and I'm always right and I've been okay ever since then. And it's led to more independence and more freedom on my part as far as like, as far as my life. You know what I'm saying? The remote here, get up so I can find it. There it is. So, I just think that as adults, I think that we should all be able to sit down and sensibly talk about things without yelling and screaming and being negative. And I don't want to do that anymore. Like I don't even want to be baited into doing that no more. I don't guys, I swear to God, this man, it ain't worth it, man. It's really not. Tomorrow ain't promised to nobody for real, unless unless you're the divine mommy. Y'all know where are y'all at? We got 13 people watching, 5 thumbs up, thank you. But what's up with the chat? Why y'all not chatting tonight? When it comes to ethics, a lot of these men have none. Okay. And this is the reason why the women have been the head of the household because you're not making the right decisions. You'll never be able to justify allowing a crime to happen in your community. They have neighborhood watch groups. There are a lot of men that will ride around in the middle of the night making sure that women are getting home safe from the bus stop. This is a serious thing. You expect someone to respect you when you don't even pretend, you're not even pretending to protect the women in your community. The women in your community are protecting the other women in your community, and you're cussing those women out, calling them dykes because they are protecting each other. And you tell me that that ain't right or that ain't wrong. What's up, blessed one? So I'm just saying, like, do you understand the level of, boyery or fuckery to your behavior? Like, are you not seeing the error to your ways? But it's very, very easy because I think sometimes people get blinded. You know what I'm saying? They just get blinded and they don't want, like, I'm gonna tell you something. If you like, this is most of them are narcissistic. Okay, a lot of them are narcissistic. They don't want to admit when they're wrong. What is wrong with you admitting to what you did? What is somebody going to tell you? They already know that you commit satire. So, that's because I know my spirits is always watching everybody. So that's really what they want to say. Like we ain't even really got to go back and forth. So when you look even deeper as to why a man would need to try to falsely persecute an innocent woman, come on now. And really the persecution and prosecution probably needs to go to that man. I've been, guys, for the last couple of days, I've been filling up on my womanly powers. I've been watching domestic violence survival stories. Y'all need to go watch them because those stories give us strength. When you hear about a woman, and I'm going to tell you something, when you look at that and you realize the severity of these beatings that these women get, and I've never been beat like I was looking at this one thing the other day and I was like, I had never, it I feel like women should be strong enough. Like we don't always have to be at war and like shell shocked or whatever. But I feel like we should have that side of ourselves that will protect ourselves from a man that is like that is predatorial. And then when you see a man pointing the predatorial finger at a non-predator, a woman, then it's kind of like, well, why don't we look deeper into what it is that you're doing? Because why would you feel the need to do that? Like, it makes no sense. And a lot of y'all men need to be more responsible with what you say about people. Why do you open up your mouths so quickly to lie? And, these women are winning these slander lawsuits every day. And, so you got to be careful. Okay? Because that's I think that men do that. Even y'all notice how when men get out of relationships, instead of them admitting, yeah, I did call her a bitch, yeah, I did cheat on her, yeah, I did grab her by her throat one day, yeah, instead of them admitting to what they did, they will go and tell a totally different story that paints the picture of you just being crazy. Now, how do you expect to have good relationships with women when you're doing things like that? And are you so far gone that that you're beyond yourself to where, maybe the community should just give up on you and maybe they shouldn't even attempt to even possibly, I mean, literally, you might as well, women, y'all might as well go ahead and learn some self-defense. Ain't nothing wrong with it, and y'all go listen. I watched a movie by Tyler Perry. What was the name of that movie, son? Uh, what was the name of that movie? Okay. We gotta watch that again because that movie had so many plot twists to it. It wasn't even funny. Like it was insane. So I gotta go back and watch that a little bit later on tonight if I can get away. I'll probably watch it on my phone because I watch stuff easier on my phone, especially when Jacob is awake. So yes, they will. Don't care what they say about you. And literally, like, they'll say it and they know that it's not true. Like, they'll just say things that they know is not true about you, but they'll say it anyway. You know what I'm saying? And this is not good for your community. You're creating the dilapidated communities. That's why, when you see a man of that caliber move into your neighborhood, naturally, it's it's gonna go downward. I mean, if you don't even have enough pride or self-respect to protect the women in your own community, like something is going wrong here, and hey, I don't encourage men like that to do things like that. In fact, my words of wisdom all last year was leave the black sector, stop doing what you're doing. Why do you have to do this? It's probably a demon. It ain't no telling what it is. But we do know for sure that it ain't right, whatever it is, because all day, every day is miserable. And literally, I mean, if you a man like that, a woman can bring you a lot of happiness, but you got to be happy before you get into a relationship with a woman, because you're still going to be unhappy whether or not you're with her. You're just going to make her unhappy with you. So you have to be a whole person before you even, get involved. And I real okay, guys, I had some buffering. Let me see what it does. Have people you don't know coming at you side. I know, sending an angry mob. You gotta admit to falsely persecute. I mean, okay, if you have obviously, like, right in front of everybody, falsely persecuted an innocent person, at some point you're gonna have to admit to that. Like you ain't gotta do it for me. You ain't gotta do it for that other person. If somebody has done that to you, they ain't gotta do it for you. They need to do that for themselves. That's got to be the burden. Now some people can be delusional, but